Last time we talked about the Ironman banning phones and cameras during races starting in 2026. No selfies, no GoPros, no finish line videos. Violate the rule and you will be disqualified. We asked what everyone thought about it, and let's just say people had their opinions and some were strong. Some people say it's about safety, others say it's about control. So today we're diving into your comments, and there were some really good ones. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences that make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis, and I'm excited.
I'm Mitch. Here's some of the discussions and comments, what they were really about. About safety, competitive fairness, brand control, athlete experience. And it's really the stuff that we talked about in the episode too.
Yeah.
We threw some questions out to everyone online, and you guys had some pretty good responses. I always appreciate responses. I encourage it, even if somebody doesn't like what we said at all, because it gets the discussion going.
Even if you're wrong, you can comment.
That's my favorite.
Kidding.
Well, we're right always.
Yeah. No, definitely not always right.
You're reminded of that once in a while.
Oh my goodness. So, we talked about some of these comments, and I went, you know what? We should just do a follow-up to it, because I think there's some clarity that has to happen.
Well, we talked about just like we always do respond, and it just seemed more fun to actually do it this way.
Yeah. Pull up the comments, talk about them, and have some discussion about it.
See where it goes.
Yeah. So we're just going to kind of list some comments that were on the podcast, and we're just going to talk about them. Number one, there was the just follow the rules crowd/comment. If the race requires you to wear an orange hat, then you must wear the orange hat. This is no different. If you don't like the rules of the event, then don't do the event or risk being DQ'd. I could not agree more.
This is what we say. I think this is a response to what we say all the time. Like, it doesn't mean I agree with it, but those are the rules. The rules are the rules. I agree with the rules.
And I think that is specifically one that I went, well, wait a minute. No, we do agree with that, and we may not have come across that way. So yeah, we agree 100%. We couldn't agree more with that. So again, I don't know that we came through clearly on that, but I want to be clear.
But also be clear, just because we agree with the rules doesn't mean that we like the rule. We can still, Mom didn't raise a quitter. She raised a complainer. That's one of my favorite.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I'm a complainer.
I will say, you're right. If it says to wear an orange hat and I want to do the race, I'm going to wear the orange hat.
So if it says no pictures and I want to do the race, I'm not going to take pictures.
100%. And I'm still okay not to like it.
Right.
Next comment, follow up to it. It says, I think it's a stretch to think this will affect race attendance very much. It's still Ironman. People will still want to do an Ironman until there is an equally prestigious full triathlon. Totally agree.
100%.
Yep. And I think we said that as well. And I even said, to my own experience, I think I would, like, if going back 20 years and I was training for an Ironman, this wouldn't change my mind about doing the Ironman.
Right. I can hope.
Yeah.
But I know they're too big.
They're too big.
But that's the point, though, is that they're so big, they get to make rules that I don't think are reasonable. I think that's okay.
I think
for the average person.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. Yeah, let's move on and get into that. The safety argument. Earbuds, phones, etc. are a distraction and, most importantly, unsafe. I have had a couple of close calls with people using earbuds and a phone during a race.
Ruiner of fun is what.
Ruiner of fun.
It's one of my favorite sayings.
Yeah. No, as we mentioned in that podcast, yes, we see that angle. And anytime we can make things safer, I get it. Totally agree. And we mentioned on the bike. Yeah, but if it's a mounted, you even said if it's a mounted camera, how is that unsafe?
Shouldn't matter.
No, okay. Yeah, I just don't get that. Like, I get the selfie. We don't want people doing selfies on a bike. Totally agree.
That seems a little, I think that could make a big mess.
That could make a big mess. So we should not do that.
So should we say just on the bike? I don't know.
On the bike or the swim?
Yeah.
Because we know that during the run, especially in an Ironman, you're going pretty slow.
There's people that walk that whole dang marathon on an Ironman. So come on.
Yeah.
You got time. What else are you going to do?
Continue. Someone will eventually get very hurt if it is allowed. Well, number one, it's already been allowed. It's been allowed for years. And I haven't seen big headlines of people getting hurt. There is always that. And we mentioned this. We talked about this prior. How many times are you running a marathon and Joe Blow or what's the female? Jill?
Sally. I don't know.
Jill, just make up whatever. All of a sudden spots her family and cuts straight across in front of you to go give them a hug.
Yeah, hey, I'm all the way on the outside and the water's way over there. I'm going to cut across 10 people just to get my water.
Tripping 3 on the way.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Equally dangerous. So.
Or more dangerous. I don't know.
I think
the biggest thing is people just aren't aware of where they are and who they're affecting. And that is a completely different argument.
Yeah. So on bikes, on bikes, 100% agree. You can't do that kind of thing. That's just totally agree. Outlaw it. Yeah, get it. But if it's in a fixed device, how is that different than a computer? Because you put computers on your bikes.
And you get distracted looking at your...
Yeah.
You're not looking up.
Your power wattage, your speed, and how far you're at, and all of that. And you're going to have a hard time convincing me that there's any difference between those two devices on your bike, mounted.
If we take away cameras, then we should take away computers on the bike.
Yeah, to be safe.
We think about it. We talked about that's an unfair advantage. If you go across the years, we didn't have them before. So
it's true.
Maybe you shouldn't have that.
That's true. Love it.
I want to add more rules.
Into it, and then this one kind of stung me.
This is the one that got me too.
I did not appreciate this comment.
It's okay.
But I love this person.
Yeah.
I will say this. And so this is the nice thing, right? So this is somebody that I really like this person.
Yeah.
But I can also disagree with them.
Yeah.
And say, hey, let's have a talk about this. Individuals who are racing for a selfie are racing for the wrong reasons. And I will say, you don't know why everybody's racing. There are a lot of reasons people race.
Not everybody's racing for a top spot. Not everybody's racing for an age group.
Not everybody's racing for a certain time. For them, the finish line is the race, getting across. When I got out of the water in Louisville, my one Ironman I did, my race was done. I had completed 2.4 miles of a swim that I would have never in my life thought I could do it.
Until you got on the bike and had problems.
Well, yeah, there's I finished, so I got across the finish line, right? Host of problems on the bike, but there's a picture of me with my coming through the chute of the swim, and I was so overjoyed. For me, that's all I needed. You know what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with going faster and so I just think we got to be really careful when we gatekeep why people race.
Do we get to decide why they race?
No.
That's where I struggle.
Your numbers are going to dwindle Now, granted, again, we're talking a brand here that has built themselves so large that you're going to fill those 2,000 spots every single time or whatever the race allows. That's part of, and that's an interesting point. They can only get so big as far as each individual event because the number of people and the amount of space that they have to cover, that is a limiting factor for them. So there's another 2,000 people lining up to do it.
Absolutely.
They're just going to have that. And they've done a really good job. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, it's not that I dislike the brand. Let's be clear here. I want to be clear here. I don't dislike Ironman. I loved my experience. It was amazing. I just think this is dumb.
And it's okay to think it's dumb.
For the run, I should probably clarify.
Yeah.
For the run, I think I can disagree with it. I can just disagree with it. All right. So moving on, I think we've beat that one. Is the DQ too extreme? I don't do selfies. Here was a comment. I don't do selfies, but DQ seems extreme for slowing or stopping to take a picture. What do you think?
I agree. I said this in the actual episode that we talked about it. I rarely take pictures because I'm busy running.
Yeah.
But if I'm running a really cool race and I see something, I might take a picture. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as I'm not in somebody else's way.
Exactly. I think I will say this again, and this is going back to it doesn't matter. This is the rule. I get it. That is the rule. So is a DQ too extreme? I think it is. However, if that's the rule, that's the rule. I get it. Maybe, and I like this. These are some prompts. It could be a different punishment. So maybe a warning first, then a penalty or something like that, or a time penalty versus a disqualification. Could there be a nuance in the enforcement? Something, that makes it a little more, hey, don't do this or else, or I don't know, something different, right?
And then really at the end of the day, if someone steps on the side of the course to take a photo, should that really end the race?
Man,
I don't think so.
It just seems extreme to me.
It does.
Just seems extreme. So yeah, the next comment, and I did appreciate this input from this commenter, says Ironman has always been very protective of their brand and trademark. They've sued many events that used the term Ironman. And on one hand, I get it. That is their trademarked name. So I get it. It also describes an event. So it is one of those like, man, get over yourselves. You're actually getting
free advertisement that they don't need.
That they don't need, yeah.
So it doesn't matter. So why should it matter either way?
Yeah. Kleenex. That's all I can think about. Q-tips.
Yeah, right.
Things I can think about that are like, it's tissue paper, not Kleenex.
You made a comment earlier that said, it seems like they worry about their brand so much, you're afraid to even say it on air.
Yeah. Talking about it on the podcast, I go, can I even say this word?
Yeah.
Is this like a no-no? My goodness. Fortunately, we make negative amount of money on this, so if they sue us, maybe we'll get some money.
If we ever become billionaires, we're in trouble.
2 negatives make a positive, right? So, additionally, it says they're hiding behind the shroud of safety. Honestly, I think they are in order to control the branding, control what's seen, control. It's just what it feels like.
It feels like it to me.
Maybe I'm 1,000% wrong, and they've sat down at board meetings and said, how do we make the race safer? Take out the selfies. Really? I don't know. Maybe that's how it went down. Is this really about safety or just controlling the brand image? It does go into some marketing argument here, and
we talked about that before, though, because it really is. It's free marketing that they don't need.
They don't need.
Any other race welcomes it.
Yeah. If I'm doing whatever whatever triathlon, backcountry, whatever, they love for you to share photos. They love for you to talk about the race. It's almost like Ironman says, no, don't. We'll do it. We'll cover it.
And to add to that segment there too, though, if they cared about that, and like people that create YouTube videos of the course, and people actually look at those.
Yeah. I think
when they're signing up for races, because we had that when we were in Fargo with one of Brian's videos. Yeah. They recognize your beard, I think.
I think they
recognized all of us.
Yeah. And they're like, aren't you the guy that, talking to Brian, that does the videos? Yeah.
Yeah. I watched your video before I signed up for such and such race. Like, that's wild.
Yeah. Pretty cool. And again, that would be more because I know I do it when I looked to do almost any event, definitely Ironman. I literally took, and this probably speaks to what they're going for. Sean, who has been on the podcast before, gave me her video from the year she had done it. Like, I don't know, 2009 or something like that, or 11 or no, not 11. But anyway, basically the video they put together on DVD, and she gave it to me and said, here, motivation, right? Because you couldn't find a ton of videos out there on it, although you could.
So she had to pay $1,000 for that too.
Probably had to pay $1,000 for it instead of just getting a GoPro for a couple $100 and getting your own video of the course or of the experience. And it was motivational, and you're not going to get that anymore other than getting those.
Yeah.
Those
kind of goes back before everybody did all that stuff, before people had camera phones. But
I would look up every race I did. Ones like Brian would do, like, oh, that's what the course looks like. That's what this is. It's fun. You know, you get a feel for the race, and you can't do that. It's so corporate.
Yeah.
With Ironman now. Goes into the grassroots versus the corporate race discussion. There weren't a ton of necessarily comments around this other than the one we just discussed. And basically, Ironman doesn't need this. They don't really care.
Yeah,
That's what it comes down to.
Right. And does it, we discussed this before, does it take away the feel of the grassroots, that feeling, like, your local race? It's very corporate.
It's super corporate.
And
this just makes it more so.
And I think people love that. There are some people that love that part, and that's fine.
The corporate side.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
They know what to expect.
I don't like it. I do not like it.
Because they get, like I've heard that about aid stations at Ironman are just top notch. I've heard that.
But but so is every aid station at Boston. So is every aid station at Western. I mean, think about it. And from that extent, there are majors or bigger races that have things on point. And that is no different. I get that. But we've also talked about the difference between that grassroots feel is throughout trail running.
Yeah.
Very different feel.
Yeah. And I don't know that.
So welcomed. And whereas this makes me feel so it's cold. It's cold is what it feels. And then it says, just do decisions like this push athletes towards local races? Yeah, maybe a couple. And I think there was a comment in the comments that, like, it's so small, Yeah, it's going to be a tiny amount of people, and like we just said,
and it'll fill right back up.
2,000 more people to fill it right back up. I love Brian's comment, who we've talked to and had him on the podcast a few times. Says, another reason I will never enter an Ironman.
That's not the only reason.
No,
that's just, you got 800 other reasons. You just wanted to come up with another one.
He's annoyed when he sees an Ironman piece of merchant, like gear, like a hat or something out on the trail. I think he gets a frowny face more than normal. He's like, you're lucky if you get away without a shin, like, smack around him with that.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's number one, we wanted to be clear we agree that, yes, they can set whatever rules they want. If they have a bike rule that says you have to be faster than 20 miles an hour average on the bike, that's going to eliminate some people. But hey, if they want to do that, go ahead. We don't have to like it, though. And in this case, we don't like it.
Because that's exactly the route I'm going down. You know, like the people that pay for these races that do it are...
It's not, as we've mentioned so many times, it's not the winners, and it's not even the top 3 in age group. It's all the rest.
Yeah, it's the people like you and I that are coming in, or, you know, the back of the packers, middle of the packers. They're the ones that are buying the sponsors' products.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are paying all the entries.
Yeah.
The only thing the pros are getting is free races. They're not paying anything to that. And the age groupers, you know, they're still paying.
It's literally
the other people that are paying for that race. And they're the ones that are more apt to do the selfies. They're the ones that are more apt to do that stuff because they're out there having a good time.
Yes.
And you're saying, nope, you can't do this race. You're shooting yourself in the foot because these are the people that pay for that.
Yeah. It's literally the ones that are taking the selfie that are paying for the race.
Yeah.
And I get it. You're going to say, well, it's not the ones doing Ironman. Well, so be it. But it is. They're doing it too. There's a lot of people that are going to be like, well, it's a bummer. I can't do that. I'm still going to do it. But it's a bummer. I wish I could. Wish I could. And you can say, well, then you shouldn't be doing it. But that's not fair. You don't know what everybody's story is. People do different things for different reasons. And capturing the moment is more important to them than a time. And that is okay. Because being 30 seconds faster isn't going to change a thing.
Especially for them.
So, I don't know. I thought it was fun to just kind of sit down and have some debate on this, even though it's one-sided. But we'll hear it in the comments.
I encourage comments.
Yeah.
We can talk some more.
Yeah, we can even sit down with some coffee even.
We'll even have you on if you can.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. Love everybody that commented still. I think it's fun. I think it is fun to have these discussions. And
yeah, thanks for the comments.
Yeah, I don't hate anybody for it. I appreciate it. I appreciate learning different perspectives, and that's growth. And we can all continue to do that.
As long as we change our minds, everybody's happy.
Yeah. Or you change your minds. We're happy.
That's the culture we live in these days.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Go check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and all that. But that is going to wrap up this episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy running.